Yeah, please.
Jasmine Crockett recently.
Jasmine Crockett. Remember what I said? Is she a relation to the late, great Davy Crockett? I don't think so. Jasmine Crockett, let me tell you, before you even ask, she's a very low IQ person. I mean, if we ever had to pass an aptitude test, that's the one should take one because she shouldn't even be in the crowd. So I have no idea what you're going to, but I don't think we should waste our time. This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson. Between her and Ilman Omar and the group. You know, I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want her. He said, I don't want her. Okay, what else? Go ahead.
I want the American people to know that when you stand up to a bully, you win. Do not back down. Do not bend. You allow them to go and wage their threats. If everybody starts to bend, for sure what is left of our democracy will be gone. And unfortunately, that is exactly what he wants. And even more sadly is that many of his followers agree with this. And I am thinking to myself, how is it that you can call yourself American or patriotic when you literally don't understand who we are as Americans, when you literally are okay with throwing out the Constitution, when you're okay with someone just deciding, you know what, this is the end result that I'm seeking, and so just figure out how to get there.
You clashed with Rashida Tlaib in Congress. She called Trump a fascist. What's your response to that kind of rhetoric? It always seems to come from the left, contrary to what Hillary Clinton says.
First of all, Hillary Clinton doesn't know what she's talking about. She's actually part of the reason we're in this position now. And the reason is, just like Rashida Tlaib, the radical left doesn't know how to make an argument. They don't use common sense. They're not using policy that's going to make people's lives better. So what they do is they inflame. They use the words fascist, or they use racists. Or when it was Joe Biden running for the presidency back in 2020, he was talking about how, you know, Donald Trump was going to put black people back in chains. I mean, this is the type of crazy rhetoric that the left uses all the time.
Team would schedule events, and I would go into different arenas, you know, different symposiums, conferences, everywhere, talking about the president's agenda, what we were going to do to make America great again. And one of my colleagues, you know her, she was supposed to debate me a couple times. The president refers to her as Crockett. And so Crockett was supposed to debate me. And a funny thing happened. Her schedule would always change. I would be ready to go. My team would say, all right, sir, she's coming in, you're going to debate about this stuff. And it would change. And miraculously, she couldn't do it. I think I remember one time we were in Philadelphia, and we were supposed to do a debate for NPR. And all of a sudden, her schedule changed. And the reason why the schedule kept changing is because we understood very quickly that when you try to debate somebody who knows the facts, has the substance, brings common sense, and has a better argument, it's better for your schedule just to change. It might be better for you to just find something else to do. You see, we live in a country where it is your voice that is what truly matters. Not a lot of us who are on stage or even do TV interviews or on social media. It is your voice. And the way we expand that voice is that we need hardworking people from all walks of life who decide that they're going to give a little bit of time to this experiment called America.
I know that some may think that I am, younger than I am. But just so y'all know, I am 12 years older than Laura Goldberg.
Say that. Right.
Jasmine Crockett has been making a lot of noise about Donald Trump. None of that noise helps us at all. Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. So I've always had an issue with the noise. I had an issue with the roasting and the back and forth. And she got what she wanted, which was to get the limelight. That's what I believe she wanted. And everyone put a battery in her back and made her think that that was important. And she kept doing it, and that's what she's been doing. And if she wasn't yelling back and forth, yelling at the moon and throwing rocks at Trump, would you know who she is? I'm just being honest. There's a lot of Congress people. Why do you know Jasmine Crockett? What made you find out who she was? And what has Jasmine Crockett done besides go at Trump and call him names? And that's the problem, man, because we need to get more out of our Congress people than just calling Trump names. Then when he responds and starts punching you, then he's a bully, he attacking me, all this shit. When you've been going at this guy for 2 years. Doesn't make him right, but it damn sure don't make you a victim if that's what you've been doing. And that's what you've been doing. That's exactly what you've been doing. So that's the first thing, man. Stop pretending like you're fighting some good fight by calling out Trump. You're not fighting a good fight. You're not running against Trump. You know, you're not running against Trump. You're a representative for a district in Texas that looks like shit. We've covered it on this channel. That needs you to come up with solutions for them. You're a person from Missouri who's fighting for people in Texas because you got the money to run. You got it from a fraud who was funding the Democratic Party. You got the money. You won the election. You in office. And the Democrats said, go girl, act crazy, say stupid shit. And that's what you've been doing. And she has a knack for roasting and doing this cosplay like Sister Girl from Around the Way. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And it's been working for her, and that's good. I'm glad it's worked for her. This is not confuse that for actually doing anything. And the reason why I'm saying these things like I'm saying them, because at the end of that clip, there was a woman who was so excited that Jasmine Crockett was saying things about Laura Loomer. Now, Laura Loomer is a non-factor. It's a non-factor plastic face. You know, like the dolls, as you get them in the package, and they're under plastic because they don't want anybody to steal them, and it's like shrink wrap across the doll to keep you from taking it, and they got a sensor on the back, and they don't want you to steal it out the store. That's Laura Loomer's face. She looks like shrink wrap has been glued to her face. And she had to call Jasmine Crockett names, and we know that's perfect for Jasmine Crockett because she gonna roast the shit out of Laura Loomer, and she did. We cannot confuse roasting somebody up as being effective. And I'm tired of black folks falling for the okie doke where somebody just comes up, calls names of someone that don't put no shoes on no kids' feet, that don't put no food on the table. It does nothing for anyone except Jasmine Crockett. And Laura Loomer. It actually helps Laura Loomer because I'm talking about that heifer now. I've never said her name on this channel. But them going back and forth helps Laura Loomer and it helps Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine gets to further her brand with the dum-dums who think that's cool, that means something, that's fighting when it's not. Selling wolf tickets is not fighting, Johnson. Yelling names at someone is not fighting. Fighting is fighting. Where I come from, where I grew up, fighting is fighting. Not talking shit, not roasting somebody out. We used to joan, throw insults, rank, roast, dozens, whatever you want to call it. We used to do that. That's not fighting. Guess what? It's not fighting in politics either. Stop falling for the okie doke. Byron Donalds is a more serious politician than Jasmine Crockett. You ain't got to like it. It's just the truth. He's more serious and he's more successful and he's doing more things than Jasmine Crockett. There it is. That's it. I don't know if he's going to become Florida governor, but he's taken more serious than Jasmine Crockett by his own party. Jasmine Crockett's party does not take Jasmine Crockett serious. She's a sideshow. And I believe Byron Donalds is correct when he says he wanted to debate her and she kept backing out. I believe it because I asked her to come because we reached out. I didn't. Me and Mrs. Black reached out to her to come on the show to have a conversation. She won't do it. If Donna Brazile could come on this show, if presidential candidates Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, Jill Stein, if Congress people, Ro Khanna could come on the show, Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Sandy Darity, Dr. Derek Hamilton, if these people could come on the show, you could bring your ass on the show. You could. Not many people in black independent media can rattle off those names. If filmmaker Michael Moore could come on the show, you can come on the show. If Ben and Jerry's could come on the show, both of them, you could come on the show. Let's not act like everybody does like this, like we don't have a repertoire. If Shamichael Singleton of CNN could come on the show, and Van Lathan of the podcast, The Ringer, could come on the show, so can Jasmine Crockett. She ain't that high post. She was a surrogate for Kamala Harris. That's her claim to fame. So, yeah, you think she come on my show and roast the shit out of me because she Jasmine Crockett. She a bad mofo. She would rip through me in no time whatsoever, right? I'd be light work, right? I'd be light work. How can I get the DNC chair to come on and can't get her? So Byron Donalds is running into the same thing. But we got somebody who wants to, that's real comfortable by herself in a room, talking shit about Trump, talking shit about Laura Loomer, roasting Marjorie Taylor Greene, and really good at that. And she's right. She is good at that. She roasted the hell out of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Right? That's great stuff. Amazing. It doesn't do anything for her constituents. It doesn't help Black America. It's a shame so many Black Americans clap for that and think that helps somebody. When I bring her on the show, it's not going to be to roast her. It's going to be to ask her real questions. Like, why did you say that reparations for Black Americans, the Democrats did so much when you were on the Karen Hunter show and y'all were talking about reparations? Why did you say that Democrats trying to clean up water was a form of reparations for Black Americans? I'd like to know how that makes sense. You think saying that to the Japanese in internment camps, that would have worked? Do you think we don't say that to Israel? Somebody clean up water, it has to do. No, we give them money. And then every time I turn around out your mouth, it's something about Black people. But you don't even think we deserve reparations. And when you said that shit about water, as if only Black people get water in Texas, you don't got clean water for everybody else? So it's just a Black-only water fountain that y'all trying to clean up? It don't even make sense. And Karen Hunter was an unserious person down on her job just trying to kiss ass. And the hard part about it is, I think Laura Loomer is garbage. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene ain't nothing but a gaslighter playing the same game that Jasmine Crockett play. But unfortunately, seems like Marjorie Taylor Greene is a little bit more serious than Jasmine Crockett. Because only a fool, and I'll say this 3 times, at the risk of sounding like Dr. Umar, only a fool is in Congress, will go in front of audiences and shit on the governor of her state when she need to help her people in her district who reside in that state. And people, instead of saying, what are you doing, woman? Why are you insulting a differently abled, a disabled governor in the state that in the governor of your state for laughs at events? How does that help the people in your district? I would ask her, how was that savvy? How was that smart? How do Black people benefit from you roasting up Governor Hot Wheels? How much did that negatively impact the Black Americans or anybody in your district? I got a feeling that the governor wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna hook her up. I'm gonna do more for her district. Yeah, let's focus on giving her great things. Let's focus on helping that district. I got a feeling they weren't. Maybe that had something to do with you getting gerrymandered out. See what I'm saying? So we heard her crying and complaining about getting gerrymandered and screwed by Republicans in her district, but it was after she get up and do a comedy routine. You know what I'm saying? Like she's some more. You're not Chris Rock. You're a congressman. Why are you doing comedy routines going after the governor in your state? Then when they respond to you, you play victim like out of nowhere. You become a project for them. And the thing is, folks, it's really ticking me off, is why are black people falling for it? How does that help us? How does it help us to have people? Why are you rooting for people that are doing the opposite of what would be considered effective? And then say they're working for you. If I lived in Texas in her district, I'd be mad as shit. I'd be like, shut your ass up and get as much money for our community as possible. Don't you piss that man off. What are you doing that for? How does that help anybody? All it did was help her notoriety. And you think I'm the only person with any common sense to say that? You don't think all of liberal media doesn't see that? Or you think I'm stabbing her in the back by saying the truth? If you think that, you're a fool and you're a part of the problem. Everybody knows I'm right. Everybody in private would agree with me. They're just afraid to say it publicly. Because you can't tell the truth if you inside the party. But see, I ain't inside of any party, so I don't do nothing but tell the truth. Now, Byron Donalds, I want him to come on the show. I want to talk to his ass about them dumbass comments about Jim Crow. Yeah, we want to have a conversation about that. Yeah, we can have a conversation about that and a couple other things he said. But Jasmine Crockett's the one ducking. She's the one shooting shots and then ducking conversations. Last time I saw Byron Donalds went on Abby Phillips, and yeah, he had to respond to that shit because Abby questioned him. He wasn't ducking. So all I'm saying is Jasmine Crockett be throwing stones and ducking and going after white girls and making this a roasting session. Leave the roasting to us. We can roast people for you. We don't need you to roast. We need you to legislate. We need you to legislate. You weren't elected to rank people. Please, Black America, stop falling for performance. Stop falling for symbols and start demanding solutions. We gotta do better. We have to grow up. We are grown-ass people. We grown-ass people with kids. We want a legacy for our children. We want to build a better tomorrow so our children have a better tomorrow. And we allow the most unserious people to be our leaders, and then we clap when they do dumb things like call names of governors in their own state. I mean, come on, Johnson. I mean, only a complete idiot does that. If you play for a team and you sit on a coach, you might not get much time. They're not even on the same team, so it's even worse. You're gonna go after the governor of your state about their disability. The man had an accident; he can't walk for the rest of his life, and you choose to go after that. Then when they disappear your district, you go, "What did I do?" See what they do? They did this because they racist. That's why they did it. Then you ain't give them no other reason, right? No other reason, sister, no other reason, huh? Just that. Okay. She wanted to be a star. She's a star now. What did you get for Black America? Not a fucking thing. She got to be famous. We got to be nameless and homeless. Representative Crockett, don't duck conversations. Don't throw rocks and hide your hand. And you roasting Lord Loomer when we grew up roasting people, don't mean shit. She sucks. She's horrible. The end. What you doing for people in Texas? What you doing for the country? How you helping us? Calling Trump names and then crying victim ain't gonna do it. You went after Trump for 9 months before he said your name one time. I've been covering it. You went after Trump for 9 months straight before he said your name one time. You got hype and happy when he said your name. You felt, I've arrived. Little old me got the president of the United States. Only problem is, once he started, you ain't see what he did to the entire Republican field? You didn't see that shit? I don't know if you was here in 2016 when he made light work of all those Republicans. He won his nomination 3 times in a row. You didn't see that? All right, man, let's keep going, man. People want attention, then they get it, then it's a problem. That's all I'm saying. Let's go. My bad. Let's keep going, man.
You allow them to go and wage their threats. If everybody starts to bend, for sure what is left of our democracy will be gone. And unfortunately, that is exactly what he wants. And even more sadly, is that many of his followers agree with this. And I am thinking to myself, how is it that you can call yourself American or patriotic when you literally don't understand who we are as Americans, when you literally are...
You literally don't understand who we are as Americans. Folks, I shouldn't even be saying... I'm sorry, man. She just said something that don't make sense. When you literally don't understand who we are as Americans. What are we as Americans? Define what we are as Americans. Define that shit. We bomb people back to the Stone Age. We have never settled the debt of Black America. Or really Native Americans, anybody. Really, not really. But we haven't settled the debt with Black Americans at all. Define this shit for me. What are you saying? We literally don't know who we are as Americans. Tell us who we are as Americans. He just says things that don't make any sense. And when people say, what are you talking about? Black people get mad. They like mediocrity.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.